Okay, so here's a short review of Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. I'll be honest, I've never played a Stalker game before this, and the closest I've ever come to a game with a similar vibe is Metro Exodus, and I enjoyed it. Stalker 2 is an open world survival horror game with some RPG elements, at least more than Dragon Age the Veilguard. At its core, this game is like Fallout 4 and DayZ having a premature child. And I'll be honest, the game is in very rough shape, but for many reasons, I can't stop playing. Like, I promise I'll probably be back to playing it after this video is done. Even though some parts of the game make me almost piss my pants and scream like a pussy. For those who don't know, Stalker 2 is basically a hardcore, a more realistic, and a less role-playing style of a Fallout game, I guess. What you see here is hopefully out of context and spoiler-free clips that I recorded on medium to high graphics on my PC. You play as Skiff, a man that has his apartment blown to shit by an artifact, then goes to a quarantined area around Chernobyl called the Zone to basically seek answers. The Zone is huge, beautiful, and exploring it is one of the game's highlights. It takes a while to travel all of it, and it's got Unreal Engine 5 screaming all over the textures. The world's got a day and night cycle that makes you pray for the sun to rise. You got abandoned homes, factories, military bases, caves, tunnels, grass fields, swamps, burned forests, safe houses, towns, camps, deadly anomalies, traders, medics, technicians to repair and upgrade equipment, and assholes everywhere trying to kill you. The map looks and feels so good to explore and rewards you for exploring it too. You're constantly running out of important resources, so the game forces you to go out there and look for it. And the gameplay loop in Stalker 2 is amazing. Man, the atmosphere carries most of the experience you have. The ambient noise in the dark tunnels, the crazy storms with blowing winds that make it hard for me to hear my imaginary friends on Discord, the growling of bloodsuckers that jump out of nowhere to beat you up, and the sudden ease of the weather that gives you a short peace of mind before you're hit by a scary red emission storm that forces you to head indoors just to survive. And let's not forget the consistent, lingering feeling that someone is watching you. And I can keep going, man. This game's atmosphere is like nothing I've ever seen before, and as a person that is too scared of horror games, I'm loving this one. The game is 10% story, 10% combat, and 80% exploring the open world, looting, and managing your inventory. If you're into games with survival like DayZ and Deadside, I guess you'd like this game. But the hardcore survival elements are really toned down compared to those games, and I wish it was a lot more hardcore, like getting sick or managing weapon magazines manually. But that's just me, and I did not mind this at all. The game's combat is very nice. The entire game is janky as hell, so enemy animations could have been better, but I like Bethesda games, so I didn't care as much as certain console fanboys beating their meat to realistic animations. Sometimes I feel like some enemies have too much health, but that hasn't stopped me from making it anywhere in the game. Shooting feels very realistic, and there are no hit markers with slow-paced shootouts that force you to be as precise as you can be, just so you can save your weapon's ammo and durability. You'll be bleeding and dying half the time in combat, and that makes you carry as many medkits and bandages as you could find. You got bandits, opposing factions, invisible mutants, zombies, mutated animals, and creatures that cause you to have a bad trip on the shrooms that you never took. I didn't go into this game for its story, but it's been a good story. It's long, and it's full of mystery, revenge, sick cutscenes, and interesting lore. You got decision making that feels like it matters, and these decisions aren't just dialogue options. They can be things that you do in missions, and they can have consequences you didn't expect. The game is a lot more detailed than I expected. I played half of it in Ukrainian until I didn't feel like reading any more subtitles, so I switched to English, and the voice acting is not bad. I've been really enjoying Stalker 2, but I can't ignore its bugs and performance issues. I haven't had any game-breaking bugs or crashes, so I'm lucky. The game's performance is so bad that it makes Dragon's Dogma 2 seem optimized. Most of the bugs and jank in the game are similar to Bethesda game bugs like Skyrim or Fallout 4, but there are some that become pretty frustrating, like your HUD's opacity being stuck at like 20%, audio cutting in and out, or NPCs standing in doorways, or even items not showing in your inventory but still affect your carry weight. Enemy AI seems broken. Sometimes I feel like they can see me through walls. You can shoot one of them from a distance with a silencer and they'll all instantly target you with aimbot, worse than Counter-Strike 2's hacking problem. And this kind of ruins the stealth. What I'm saying is, if you can't overlook these issues, wait for some major patches, which by the way are on the way. This game's development team has been in the middle of a war, and they recently released a documentary on the game's development, and you can actually understand why the game needed more time, and I'm gonna cut them some slack. The game's got obvious problems that can easily be patched up in I don't know, a few large updates, so I'm not really worried. I think at its core, Stalker 2 is an amazing game. Definitely one of the best games I've played this year. It's got an amazing map that you'll happily explore if you got balls, a good amount of loot and guns to keep you satisfied, a good story that blends right into the exploration, decision making that feels like it matters, graphics that can only run well on Nvidia's 5000 series graphics cards, terrible optimization, some funny and frustrating bugs, great gunplay, broken stealth and enemy AI, which could be fixed, economy that makes you feel like you're getting getting ripped off, a toned down version of hardcore elements like DayZ and I guess Deadside, great cutscenes and music, some of the best atmosphere I've felt in a game. Rewarding rewards, okay voice acting, and I can't wait to finish this video so I can go back and play. I wanted to review this game with the team's obvious external struggles and patience for issues that can be fixed with updates in the near future. Stalker 2 is good to amazing at everything it does, but I suggest that you wait if you're not willing to go through some of the issues. In my opinion, Stalker 2 at its heart is a 9 out of 10. I realized that from all my views, around 99% of you are not subscribed, and I don't blame you. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, check out the website and the merch in the description, and let me know which game I should review next.
Shut up! Ah! I thought he'd get better if I dragged him away, but he's getting worse. Please, kill whatever is hiding down there. I'm begging you. I'll give you the code to the stash.